Intermittent fasting is one of the most powerful methods that you can use in order to lose weight and lose it fast. I'm going to show you the how, the why, and also the best hours that you should fast in order to get amazing results. Let's first start with the how and the why. Now, the thing is about intermittent fasting is it does something really unique for us, is it drives down our blood sugar. And this matters because when it comes to losing weight, what's happening in your body, your physiology, makes all the difference. And as we go through this process of trying to lose weight, I want you to think, how can I keep my blood sugar low? It's going to be a very important thought process for you to get results. Now, when we're fasting, we're driving down our blood sugar. And the other thing that happens is we drive down this hormone called insulin. Now, if you're not familiar with insulin, this is a really important hormone to pay attention to, because insulin, when high, is a fat storing hormone, and also when insulin is high, it is going to block fat loss. So therefore, if you want to lose weight and lose it quick, we have to get insulin under control. When we're fasting, what we're going to do is we're going to drive down the blood sugar, and because blood sugar is low, what happens is insulin follows. So insulin's a big problem for many people. When it's high, you can't lose weight. And here's the thing, is as you age, you naturally become more resistant to insulin. And as this happens, it becomes so much harder to lose weight. And the other thing that's going to happen is maybe in the past you've went and tried to lose weight fell right off, but now this time it won't budge. And the reason that can happen is because now you're insulin resistant, meaning that in order to actually start losing weight, you have to go through a healing process. There's nothing better for it than doing intermittent fasting, driving that insulin to a good, healthy place. And what happens too is when you intermittent fast, you boost up growth hormone, which helps natural healing in the body, along with driving down blood sugar and also decreasing your insulin levels. Now let's talk about the best times to eat. Well, first let's start off with the old style, right? Whenever you were told before to lose weight, what it basically came down to is, hey, you need to eat 6 small meals a day. And what a pain in the butt that is. Figuring out what you're gonna eat all 6 meals, counting your calories, awful, right? So we don't want to do that. And one of the reasons it doesn't work as efficiently anyways, because you're constantly spiking your blood sugar and your insulin all day long. And remember, we want to have that thought process. How do I keep my blood sugar low? So we're going to just axe that. We don't want to participate in that because it's frustrating and it doesn't work that well. Well, the traditional style of eating is 3 meals a day. Well, we know that this doesn't really work that great because so many people today are obese and have diabetes and so many physiological issues. So 3 meals a day isn't going to be a sufficient way to go in and lose weight either. But what would be the best way to lose weight? Well, that would be intermittent fasting. And there's going to be 2 methods I share with you, okay? The first is going to be 16 and 8 intermittent fasting. And this means that we're just eating 2 meals a day. We're going to eat lunch, we're going to eat breakfast, okay? We're going to fast for 16 hours and then we're going to eat that lunch and breakfast within that 8-hour window. And during that time, that 8-hour window, we're eating that lunch and breakfast and we're not snacking in between. Why would we not want to snack? Simply because we don't want to raise your blood sugar and we don't want to raise insulin. We're doing everything we can to stay in a fasted state. So basically you're fasting, you have that meal, boom, go back into the fasted state, then have that second meal back into the fasted state. So you're constantly working the lower blood sugar and insulin. The next thing we can do if we want to push it a little bit harder is we can do something called 1 meal a day. And it's just as it sounds. You just eat 1 meal. So you're gonna fast all day, right around 22, 23 hours, and then you're gonna have 1 meal, and that's it. Now, the thing that's very important to understand with these 2 methods is that they aren't calorie restrictive techniques. You're supposed to be eating the proper amount of calories within that time frame. It's simply just you are eating all your meals within those time frames, all of your calories, but not necessarily restricting. Now, when you're fasting, because you're eating your meals in smaller windows like that, it can naturally have a calorie restrictive effect. That's okay, because calorie restriction is also an efficient way to lose weight. So if you're fasting and combining around like a 500 calorie deficit, this can be very beneficial. But there's something I want you to pay attention to. What that thing is I want you to pay attention to is that you're not fasting so much that it leads to binge eating, because binge eating is the cause of so many failures with weight loss. Many people will go 5 days really hard on a weight loss routine and then they'll say, I'm going to take the weekend off. And that weekend they blow their whole 5 days. So 2 days blew the whole 5 days worth of work. So we don't want to do that. So if you're pushing yourself too hard in fasting and is leading to binge eating, then we have to change our fasting method, because what is the most appropriate fasting method? The one that works for you. I want to share with you a bonus tip here, okay? One of the things I like to do, and you talk about really putting some fire on weight loss, one of the things I like to do is we'll actually utilize berberine. We use something called berberine ER. It specifically is designed to be 5 times more absorbable than regular berberine. So what we do is we take that berberine and we take it right at our first meal when fasting. So if you're doing 16 and 8 intermittent fasting, you'll essentially eat your first meal and take a capsule of berberine, and it helps drive down that blood sugar during the whole eating window. Okay, so that way, not only are you driving down your blood sugar while fasting, then you use berberine to drive down your blood sugar while you're in your eating window, and it works incredible. I'll put a link in the description below to the berberine ER that we utilize for this method. And the same goes for 1 meal a day. If you're just having that 1 meal a day, you'll simply take berberine with that 1 meal, and it helps drive down your blood sugar after you have that meal. So these are the methods that you can utilize in order to really lose weight and lose it fast, and it works so well. Give this video a thumbs up. I'm Dr. Nick Zyrowski. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It was a pleasure seeing you here, and if you love this video, you'll love this one next.